Stir. I typed it in. What was it?
Kajal.
Kajal. Okay.
What's her name?
Kajal. Kajal. Kajal.
Kajal. Okay, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
He lives in Pittsburgh.
Oh,
so
okay, cool.
10 o'clock at night there. Okay, so now it's Jacob's turn. What are you gonna teach us, Jacob?
Well, just gonna continue off of what I've been doing so far, what I've been showing you guys so far with Game Maker. So I guess what I'll do, I'll just start sharing my screen with what I have up right now.
Okay, I'll take a nap.
And right. I'm gonna go eat now.
All right, sounds good.
So I'll see you later, guys. Have
okay,
fun.
See you
tomorrow.
Bye.
All right, so just based off of where we left off, we've gotten to the point where we put in some behavior for our little smiley face character. We can look back at our player object and we can see that based on these key inputs, we change the coordinates of the character based on a certain number of pixels. And as long as those keys are held down, then that will continually be changed and it will simulate a constant movement. So I guess what we need to do now, what we need to figure out now, is what are we going to do to prevent our smiley face character from actually leaving the little box that he's in? Because I mean, obviously what we want to do is, if we're going to have a game, we don't want the smiley face character to go outside of our game area. So what we can do to prevent this from happening in code is actually restrict where the smiley face character can actually go. So we can do that by using some very simple if statements. So since I have key down pulled up right now, what we can do is just enter that, and then we can say, let's say, so key down and y plus. Okay, so we know based on our coordinates again that the higher up you go, the lower your y coordinate is, and then the lower you go, then your y coordinate, your y number actually increases. So. And what we want to do is prevent our character from actually going past. We can see the height of the room down here. We want the character to prevent himself from going past 480, being the dimension of the room, or the the y dimension of the room. So what we can do, if y, so the y coordinate of the player object, if y is less than 480, then we say that the y coordinate is increased by 5 as long as the key is held down. Another way to write this, and this is actually a little bit better, because depending on if you say you have different types of levels and you want to change the dimensions of the sizes of those rooms. So if you're having different rooms representing different levels and you want to have different sizes for each of those levels, well then 480 might not always work because your y the height of your room might vary. It could be something like 200 or it could be as big as 600, and in that case you're going to be stuck somewhere like in the bottom of the room and not able to get past that. So if you want to allow the character to I guess, or if you want to, I guess, more dynamically tell what the height of the room is and prevent the character from going past that, what you can do instead, room height. So if y is less than room height, then y plus equals 5. And once he reaches, or once he's approaching the room height and gets pretty close to it, then he'll actually stop going further down. Similarly, for going right, we see that the further you go right in the room, then the greater the x coordinate becomes. So what you can say, similar to room height, if x is less than room width, then increase the x coordinate of the character by 5. So, and then, as far as going up and going left it's pretty easy, considering that since we know that the higher up you go, the closer you get to 0. Well, we don't want the character from going past 0, so we can just say if y is greater than 0, then y minus equals 5, and for the x coordinate, if x is greater than 0, then x minus equals 5. We can save that. And let's just check to make sure it works. All right, so we'll go down and look at that. You can't go down further. And no, that's not me releasing the down key. Trust me, I'm definitely holding the down key, and he's not going further. We also check going left, going up, and going right. And if you wanted to, you saw just there that the character is kind of cut off, so part of the object is definitely going ahead, off screen, while part of it is still staying on screen. If you don't want that, we can change this a little bit. So instead of having it greater than 0, we know that the dimensions of the sprite for the player object are 64 by 64. So instead, we can just say if x is greater than 64, and he'll go that much. Similarly, or hang on. Actually, maybe we'll say 32. I believe, yeah, 32, because we see that the origin point of the sprite is in the center, so at 32 by 32. So, your y and your x, or hang on. Well, let's just try 32 by 32. We'll see how that works. So greater than 32, and 32 again. And then for right, we'll do room width minus 32. And for down, less than, and then plus 32. So again, because you want as far as you're going down, your y coordinate's actually increasing, so you want to actually have the boundary of where you're prevented from passing a little bit higher. So we'll see if that works. Yep, that looks pretty good. So now your smiley face character. Oh, all right, that's not quite right. Maybe it's supposed to be minus 32. Try that. Actually, yeah, it's probably minus 32. Oop. Where did that go? By the way, are you guys able to see me testing the game? Like, I know that my...
I can see everything.
Okay, cool.
What? The testing what?
Oh, I just wanted to make sure that you guys could see me like actually testing. Like I mouse over to play, and in the center of the screen you can see me doing the test game.
What am I supposed to be looking at the center screen? I see right in the center is sort of a, I don't know, a glow.
Are you able to see? are you able to see like a yellow circle that's moving?
Oh, hardly. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I do see a glow, and it's really faint right in the middle under the events tab or whatever this is, events window.
Okay. That's
I don't
okay.
know if that's because of my computer or if it's, I mean, I don't know what it looks like to you, but everything else looks very clear. I mean, all of the windows on here are very clear, but
is anyone else seeing difficulty with the or having any difficulties in seeing the test game?
everybody's muted.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, Gabe's not muted.
No, you can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You can see the test game fine, Gabe?
Yeah, I can see. I can see you moving around.
Wait, some register just has been turned off to save bandwidth. What? Video.
Well, you're.
Oh, this is
You're not
weird. I don't know what's going on. Now I don't see anything. I don't see. I mean, the whole everybody's just icons, including the game console thing, whatever it's.
All right.
Okay, now I can see it.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I guess what we can do next, as far as this tutorial goes, since now we have some boundaries for our game. I don't know. We can either, I guess, because it is approaching the halfway point for 7:15 for my part of the show, we can get into the second part. And this is what you suggested, Lisa. Try out a bit of a quiz sort of thing.
Oh yeah, the trivia game.
Yeah, trivia.
Yeah,
Oh, wait a minute.
I think it's playing a little bit of games. I can probably answer some of those.
All
I
right.
think Cam was going to do 7:15. Cam, where's Cam?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Cam signed up for 7:15.
Okay. Well,
I thought I'd have like a half-hour time slot for
No, I had
7:15.
you guys do 15-minute time slots because it's not like you see what the way we've been doing it is like the first 5 minutes are for people who are lost and never done this before. They get in and they they get in and they make sure that the camera's working and sound is working and whatever else. And then the rest of the time is for everybody who's never